Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon at the top of the page to get notified when I post a new video. Universal Channeling, channeling the conscious universe. Suzy Ward, channeling Matthew Ward, September 16, 2019. With loving greetings from all souls at this station, this is Matthew. With joy we share the message recently given to my mother by one of the volunteers who went to Earth to help her peoples. Hello Suzanne. Please allow me to introduce myself as Arnold, the name I use as a representative of my civilization that lives in a galaxy far from the Milky Way. I know you want an image of this stranger speaking to you. We can manifest any kind of body we wish, and the form we chose in our homeland is what you could describe as a very tall translucent silvery blue ant standing erect. We understand that this is not in your eyes an appealing appearance, but it reflects the great amount of light we encompass and serves us well in mobility and activity. What is more important to you about my civilization? I could say the most important is that some of us, like you, are here to assist Earth peoples become aware that they have the capability to make their world the way they want it to be. Our advancement in conscious and spiritual awareness has come just as yours, by self-discovery, and some of us also are in positions of note and partake in decision-making. The only difference between you and us in this embodiment is that we know who we are, from whence we came and why. Earth's peoples need to know they are souls, not people who have souls, and every one of them is a part of the supreme being of this universe. This being is bound by Creator to honor all choices its parts make during a physical experience. Whatever any person on Earth does, whether action or reaction, is by free will choice and not due to God's will. There is a spirit realm where all transition after Earth lifetime, but there is neither a heaven nor a hell, places of eternal reward or punishment, respectively. A great deal of information that is taught or otherwise made available is meant to deceive or confuse. Suzanne is thinking that what I am saying is not new to anyone who reads these messages. This is purposeful. It is important for you to know that knowledge familiar to you is known to us as well. We know, too, that Earth is universally respected as an excellent schoolhouse that offers an abundance of learning opportunities for people in a third density world, where low vibrations abound. There is, in fact, only one fundamental lesson. Everything is the energy of Creator's light and love, differing only in how it is expressed. However, extrapolating on that lesson brings the energy down to Earth, in a manner of speaking, and that is what all of us came to tell these members of our universal family so they can evolve consciously and spiritually. All life forms throughout this universe are inseparably, eternally connected, and every soul has limitless capacity to manifest whatever it imagines by using Creator's energy to give it substance. That cosmic truth is known at soul level, but learning to use it properly is presented in multiple incarnations because low-level consciousness cannot master it in just one lifetime. During this universally unique era, Earth is offering unprecedented graduation opportunities because her long service as a third-density schoolhouse is ending. The planet became known as a superb learning center because it was equally well known as a prison. For long ages Gaia sorrowed that her planetary body acquired that status when ancient civilizations succumbed to the influence of puppets of darkness and successive civilizations followed the same pathway. Gaia has beckoned her current civilization to escape from that captivity and rid her body of its influence, and she beseeched light beings from other civilizations to assist. This is why some of us, like you, incarnated in Earth's various races and cultures to help the populace become aware of their innate power to effect change. Others embodied in the higher orders of animals or as mighty trees and telepathically send messages to receivers who pass them on to persons who are receptive. All of us came to help Gaia's civilization attain what they chose in pre-birth agreements, a peaceable world where love and justness prevail, resources are shared equally, and life is in harmony with nature. Throughout our joint mission to help them bring that world to fruition, a host of heavenly partners has been supporting our efforts. And we have triumphed. The world that is being manifested in the linear concept of time once again is God's sparkling jewel in the continuum. Thank you, dear soul Arnold, for your service to our Earth family, and thank you, Mother, for receiving his message. Matthew, do you know who Arnold is? Oh, indeed we do. His humility belies his soul evolvement station and the high position he holds in his civilization as well as his importance in your world. He is one of the specially gifted special forces we have talked about. Now let us move on. Research in professional sports backs up the claim that an athlete visualizing doing a sport is just as powerful as actually doing the sport. Why does visualizing good things create such powerful white streamers? What is their function, what happens to them after they're visualized, and how can their actual impact in the physical world be seen? We welcome your sports field's use of visualization as a positive step forward in understanding and applying self-empowerment. Often we have said that the universal law of attraction provides more of whatever matches the energy of your thoughts and feelings, so focus on what you want. Visualizing adds an image to thoughts and feelings, thereby strengthening the energy directed toward the desired outcome. Athletes who see themselves as winners are using the law to their advantage, and when this is sustained throughout the event, they are victorious. While victory is the goal in sports competition, visualization can have a profound impact in other ways. Visualizing yourself as healthy and active is an important aspect of recovering from illness or injury. Visualizing a substantial bank account leads to attaining and maintaining financial security. Visualizing a satisfying job opens doors to obtaining one, and, if relocating, visualizing an ideal home lets you find it. On a global scale, visualizing Earth in gold and white light helps to preserve the environment. Visualizing a violent storm veering away from heavily populated area reduces death toll and devastation. Visualizing people as friendly and cooperative brings about harmony, and visualizing a peaceful world helps to make it so. It is true that forces other than visualizing are involved, belief and strength of intention in all instances, and in the case of change globally, planetary vibrations and the assistance of other civilizations. And, when group effort is directed toward the same desired outcome, the power is increased exponentially. What may be seen as white streamers when visualizing good things is the mind producing an image that reflects the high vibrations of the energy being generated. I recently discovered your site. It's an incredible relief to read what I have believed since I was a child but couldn't tell anyone. May I ask Matthew a question? He said some New Age groups put layers of souls they call ascended masters between us and God. If he means they aren't ascended masters, who are they? Is there information from the light or not? We can think of no better reply than what Haddon told my mother several years ago. Suzy, I keep forgetting to ask God if Metatron is the name of the part of him that people hear, so I'm asking you, is it? Haddon, aren't you embarrassed to ask about something you really do know, Suzy? Why would God give his voice a special name? Did he ever ask you to address him as Metatron? No. But some people believe that Metatron is the speaking part of God. They're wrong. They're just putting another unnecessary layer between their conscious selves and their God selves. And like every other soul in this universe that is its own unique soul self with its own voice, Metatron is his own unique soul self with his own voice. What about the other ascended masters? Is the information about them being taught accurately? Suzy, most of them are appalled at much that is being taught about them. If anyone knows how faulty the idea is that they must be called upon to guide and instruct on the pathway to God, it is they themselves. At Matthew's evolved state, he ranks with the ascended masters, but he doesn't consider himself this, and for good reason. The souls who are given those exalted designations don't ascribe them to themselves. Like all other souls, each of them has a name, a soul mission, the destination of reintegration with God and Creator, and its own soul pathway to discover on the journey, and they're doing it just as you are. Connecting directly with God. You know that the layers of church hierarchy were intentionally established to distance God from souls. Can't you see that this ascended master's designation has exactly the same effect, but perhaps with loftier motives? I hadn't thought of that comparison. But isn't it true that they are much higher in the light than the vast majority of souls, and they have a divine status that we could benefit from emulating? You have a good point about emulating what is considered divine, rather than choosing to use your free will to ignore the soul's messages to your consciousness about your chosen mission. But remember, achieving balance through karmic learning still is going on, and it's being accelerated beyond your understanding, so you would hardly consider all behavior as divine, even if it is exactly in line with soul's needs, and you don't know what those needs are. As for the divinity of what you call ascended masters, yes, they are higher in spiritual growth and knowledge because their souls never descended to the limitations of third density. Matthew lived on Earth and it's in third density. Suzy, Matthew's soul evolutionary status never descended to third density. He started out as a highly evolved soul, and his personages in their various independent incarnate lifetimes haven't diminished that status of his cumulative soul. Well, in the truly timeless universe where all is now, if one personage is dropping a bit, another is rising. I'm not saying that the knowledge and wisdom and the authentic messages from them is not important. It is. I'm saying that it's not necessary to go through them to reach God. The well-intentioned channels who are not receiving the messages correctly are overlaying the transmissions with their ideas about separation, their own need to master esoteric knowledge as the means to reach their absolute conviction of connectedness with God. They are not deliberately misrepresenting the ascended masters. They simply don't know any better way, and they genuinely desire to help others find the same pathway they themselves are treading. It's not the best way, of course, because it's not the direct way. Channels who have succumbed to ego aren't connecting with any source in the light, and they're relaying the false information given by the lower sources they are reaching. In some cases, the messages are attributed to ascended masters, so you need to be discerning about which message falls into which category. Heaven knows how often we've instructed you all to be discerning about everything you hear and read. If you feel strong resistance to any information, that's a red flag from your soul. Pay attention to it. Excerpt from Voices of the Universe. Your voice affects the universe. Let it be with love. Thank you, Mother, and our gratitude to Hatten, too. As we bid you farewell for this moment, let us emphasize his point: never do you need an intermediary to reach God. As a part of God, you are inseparably, eternally connected. And, as Arnold said, you have a heavenly host of partners in your mission to help Earth's people. All light beings in this universe are supporting you with the unparalleled power of unconditional love. Love and peace. Suzanne Ward. Website, The Matthew Books. Email, Suzy@matthewbooks.com.